Good morning, everybody. It's your daily crypto news for Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. Really quick, if you are on X/Twitter, please follow us, DCN Daily Crypto. That's at DCN Daily Crypto. We put a lot of articles. We're looking at a lot of chains. We're getting more in depth on there, so please check that out. Also, if you want ad-free shows and summaries and extra content, we're also on Substack. So please check us out on both those places. If you notice on Spotify, you're getting some ads at the beginning, and if it annoys you, $5 a month, you can pop onto Substack and get your ad-free show. Plus, we have extra content, and we're working on more content. We're working on more shows. We're working on more articles. We're working on new websites. So if everything does come to fruition, you're going to get all of that. Anyway, let's get the daily crypto news because that's why you're here. We have 6 new spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in Hong Kong, and they saw more than 80,000 Hong Kong dollars or 10 million US dollars worth of shares traded in their debut. Hong Kong is the first in Asia to allow trading of spot Bitcoin and Ethereum or virtual assets ETFs. Experts have been projecting that these new spot ETFs could bring around $25 billion into the market, only if they open up to Chinese mainland investors. Now, if you're comparing this to the spot Bitcoin ETF launched in the United States, it's a far cry from that. The debut of the United States spot Bitcoin ETF saw around $4.5 billion worth of trading. This one was around $10 million. Quite a difference. Like I said, the United States has the money. This is where the money is, and everybody was looking at a spot Bitcoin ETF because we know when you open up the floodgates of United States investors, that is when it starts rolling in. But just because we have a slow start doesn't mean it's going to be slow forever. Let's just wait and see. So there's been some revelations about the SEC and how they've been privately considering Ethereum as a security since 2023. We found this because there's a publication of previously redacted portions of a lawsuit filed by Consensus. If you guys remember, Consensus is suing the SEC saying like, guys, thought you said that Ethereum was a commodity. Now you're saying it's a security. And they're like, well, we kind of been calling it a security since 2023, and here's the proof. And they were previously redacted. No, they're not. So what was redacted? This portion. In 2023, this report explicitly referred to the investigation of certain securities, including but not limited to Ethereum. That's kind of vague, but it does say and imply that they are considering Ethereum as a security. Yet, Gary Gensler has been very not consistent with his answers about is Ethereum a security. As we know, Gary Gensler, who is the SEC chair, he repeatedly deferred when was asked to outline the SEC's position on the matter, including during a House Financial Services Committee oversight hearing in October of 23. We talked about it here. He was in front of Congress, and he's like, I'm not going to say. Everybody's like, but is it a security? He's like, man, I don't know. And if the SEC started defining Ethereum as a security now, it would directly contradict old Gary Boy's own prior statements in the matter in 2018 when he was a lecturer at MIT, where he stated Ethereum is not a security in the eyes of the SEC. And he said that Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized, and because of that, it can't be considered a security. However, that could have all changed because of the merge in 2022. Where Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake, which, yeah. Anyway, so because of this, they're saying that, well, it's not as decentralized as it was before. It's not following the same structure as Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is not a security. And, well, now we have to figure this out. Remember, this is a crucial time because the SEC is looking at spot ETF applications from people like BlackRock. And so this is going to be very, very crucial to those being approved or not. And if it's a security, more than likely there's going to have to be a massive reorganization of the Ethereum Foundation to continue to provide Ethereum trading within the United States. Yes, this is going to have some gravity to it, but is this going to be fixed overnight? But are we going to have a solution? Or are we going to have a result of this conversation overnight? I don't think so, but it does seem like things are moving faster than we expected. In about 3 hours, Mr. Changpeng Zhao, or CZ, the former CEO and founder of Binance, he's not the former founder, he is the founder, but former CEO, he's going to face sentencing in a federal court in Seattle, Washington. The Department of Justice brought charges against CZ in November for Bank Secrecy Act failures. CZ was famous for keeping Binance consistently on the move and out of the range of United States law. He was in China, he was in Hong Kong, he was in Japan, he was in Malta, he kept on moving everywhere, and Binance never had a headquarters. He was keeping it decentralized. Well, they caught up to him. And the exchange paid over $4 billion in fines, and Zhao himself paid $50 million in fines. Well, CZ, he pled guilty to failure to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program, and this is in violation of the Bank Secrecy Act with a maximum sentence of 10 years. The prosecution, however, has asked for a 3-year jail sentence, so basically because of that, they set the upper limit. Meanwhile, the defense argues that probation is more than enough. Prosecutors might not seek to bar CZ from returning to Binance, so maybe after his sentence is over, he can go back and be the CEO. How big is Binance? I was actually surprised by this, honestly, and you can't surprise me much in this space, but Binance processed $18.1 trillion worth of trading in 2023. 80% of that was from derivatives, which is about $14.4 trillion, while spot trading was around $3.7 trillion. Like I said, the hearing begins in, well, at this point, 2 hours and 40 minutes, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. Zach XBT. He's a sleuth on the internet that tracks down on-chain action. Well, he's broken down how exactly the North Korean hacker organization Lazarus Group apparently laundered around $200 million. Who is the Lazarus Group? Well, the FBI named them as responsible for a $41 million hack on Drake-backed gaming firm Stake.com, as well as the $622 million exploit of the Ronin gaming network. Collectively, they amassed over $2 billion in digital assets across its thefts. In this extensive report, Zach XBT analyzed over 25 hacks spanning multiple blockchains, following that capital through numerous coin mixers and exchanges spanning 3 years from August 2020 to October 2023. Who is this person? Who is this Zach person, man? This is a lot of work. According to the report, the Lazarus Group used multiple mixers throughout its attempts to launder the money, including Tornado Cash and Bitcoin-based mixer Chip Mixer. He said in a tweet that he traced 25 connected accounts across multiple blockchains through multiple mixers and centralized exchanges, and he gives you a nice little diagram so you can follow along too. Thousands of people have been impacted in this space because of the Lazarus Group, but he wanted to give his props to people who helped him. He said this investigation would have not been possible without the contributions of these people. And he specifically named Taylor Monahan, somebody who I've interviewed multiple times and who is absolutely stellar. And just so happens we were just talking about mining yesterday. Well, we have some good news about Bitcoin mining today. A solo Bitcoin miner beat the odds, solving a block and taking home $218,000. The miner of block 841,286 became the only 282nd solo miner in Bitcoin history across more than 841,000 blocks to achieve this feat. So when you're about to buy a miner, just know that you're going to be making bits and pieces of, transaction fees and hopefully making a little profit because you're not going to get blocks. Only 282 miners have brought home their own solo blocks. The miner contributed an average 12 petahashes, or about 0.02% of the total network's hash rate. Now I was like, okay, so how much is 12 petahashes, and why don't I just go get some mining rigs? So I went to bitmain.com and I wanted to price some S21 mining rigs, and I was like, okay, so they're about $6,000 a piece, and they're generating around 250 terahashes. That means you need about 4 of those for a petahash. So that's $6,000 times 4, that's $24,000 for 1 petahash, and he's using 12 of those. And with 12 of those, he only became the 282nd solo miner to get the total block. And so they also have a profit calculator on there. We're talking about, let's see, if you're spending $24,000 on mining rigs and the infrastructure, and of course for now we talk about setting up and computers and let's say it's $25,000, $26,000, you're gonna make your money back in about 2 years. So yeah, and that's depending on the price of electricity. Over here we're talking about, let's say it's 12 cents a kilowatt hour, and so we're making, according to the calculator, around $14,000 a year. Anyway, like I said, in 2 years you will be in the profit, but that is quite amazing to get that break. Anyway, as you see, the odds are against you to solve a block yourself. However, that's why many people join mining pools, and that's how you get paid. Before this, it was August 18th in 2023 when a solo miner with only 1 petahash solved block 803,821, netting a reward of 6.25 Bitcoin, or around $160,000 at the time. Now, since we're talking about Bitcoin prices, let's take a look at those prices.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
The time is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, where fear greed is at 58. We're neutral. Bitcoin sitting at $61,195, down 2% in 24, almost 8% in 7. Ethereum's at $3,012, down 4.4%. Tellers number 3, Binance is at $567, down 3.3%. And Solana's at $128, down 5.2%. Whew. Wow. Again, buying opportunity, BTFD. Really quick, I want to just go back to Ethereum. Ethereum is down, but we're talking about a $370 billion market cap. You know, I just really can't stand the government getting involved with things like this. Like, Ethereum has been around for so long. The market cap is so big. So many things are being built off it. People are trading it. People are using it. And now people are saying, hey, let's try to classify it as commodity. It's way past that time. The slow-moving, absolutely apathetic government that just can't get their shit together is now going to start threatening people's investments. I mean, this is an investment at this point. This isn't, I'm speculating on a shit coin. Ethereum has been there and been the roadmap and the building blocks and the rails of many projects. But now you're going to start messing with people's literally legitimate, in my opinion, investment. And it just really pisses me off. And honestly, the rulemaking of these government officials, and obviously Gary Gensler's in the bag, and he's getting politically outmaneuvered and, strong-armed by different people in Congress or the Senate just to push a certain agenda to keep their names in the news. It's really obvious, and I hope that nothing happens to Ethereum, because this is a lot of people's hard-earned money, sweat, tears, hodling, diamond hands. Anyway, I can go on a rant forever about these kind of things. It pisses me off because of just, irresponsibility. I just call it 100% irresponsibility. Rounding up the top 10, USDC, XRP, Dogecoin's down 5%, Toncoin's number 9, and Cardano's number 10, but down 5.2%. The total market cap is down 2.8 at 2.25 trillion, a Bitcoin dominance of 53.7 and an ETH dominance of 16.4. That was our show today, including my little rant, which I was holding back because it was really mild, because I wanted to keep it at least PG-13 for everybody. You do not want a rated R rant from me, but one day you will get it. And in that day, please, I will put a warning and keep your kids out of the car. Until tomorrow, happy hodling, everyone.